Hello, Miss Kat's class. Today, you are going to be walking with me and doing the calculator day notes. Christopher and Deja are here, and they're going to be my audience, so it's just not me talking to myself.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Say hi.
Hey. Hello.
Okay, so today you are going to be doing an activity in Miss Kat's class where you're going to be doing 18 questions around the room. But first, you're going to do these calculator day notes. All these questions you can use a TI-84 calculator on, and I pulled them directly from 2023 and 2024 STAR test. So they've been used before. You're probably going to see them again. And again, you can use a TI-84 calculator. And if you don't have one in front of you, you can go online, and there's a TI-84 online. Yeah, you can just look it up on Google. So for the first one, it says the graph of a line that passes through the points -3, 1, and 5, 8. What is the slope of the line? The key word here is slope. You are looking for the slope. Now, some of you are probably already thinking, we can use the slope formula in a reference sheet. And yes, you can do that. But an easier way to do it is by clicking on stat. By doing stat edit on the TI-84 calculator. So you're going to click on the stat button right here. Stat button right here. I can't really point at the stat button, but it's in that same row. Oh, I broke it. Once you click on the stat button, you're going to click on the first option, which is edit. Here you'll be able to input a bunch of numbers. As you can see, I was doing math in my free time, so some numbers are already there. But we're going to plug in the two numbers that are given. Now, where am I going to plug in the -3?
L1.
L1. L1 is going to be my X column. So all my X's, which is my -3 and my 5, are going to go on my L1.
Eat it.
Armando, they can hear you. Now we have to worry about my Y values. Where are my Y values going to go?
L2.
Yes, my Y values are going to go in L2.
Just eat it. Imagine all you hear is him.
You are only going to hear him. But it's okay. So now that we have plugged in everything we need, we're able to get the information out of the calculator. So we're going to go back to stat, the same button that we started with. We're going to go back to stat, but this time we're going to scroll over to the second column. We're going to scroll over to the second column. Now here you're going to be given a bunch of options, and you're going to use 3 of these options in the STAR test, but for this first problem, we're going to use the 4th option. So you're going to click on number 4. My calculator looks different than yours. In your calculator, you're just going to scroll down to calculate. So press enter a bunch of times until you get all the way down. And then you're going to get an A value and a B value. I'm going to write them down so I don't forget. A value, which is 0.875, and my B value, which is 3.35. So out of these two numbers, which ones do you think I'm going to use?
A.
I'm going to use my A, because what is this question asking me for?
Slope.
Slope. Now, none of these answer choices show me 0.875. What are my answer choices?
9/2, 7/8, -9/2, and -7/8.
A bunch of fractions. So, do you guys know how to turn a decimal into a fraction in your calculator?
No.
Math.
You're going to click on math, which is the button right here. This third row. And then since you want it into a fraction, you're going to click on the first option.
1.
And that's going to be 7/8. So that means that my answer is going to be 7/8. Okay, Christopher? Nice. Number 2. What does rate of change or rate of change of y with respect to x mean? Now this word, not really the second one, but the first one comes up a lot in the STAR test. When it's asking you for the rate of change, it's just asking you for the slope. So in all future problems, if it's asking you for rate of change, it's asking you for a slope.
Wow.
Okay, so number 12, we are not only given a table, but we're also given a graph. A system of linear equations is represented by the line H and line A, the table representing points on the line H, and the graph showing graph J. So the graph is pretty simple. We're going to do what we did. We don't have to label anything because everything's already with the X's and everything's already with the Y. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug all my X's in.
Good job.
So now that I plugged in all my X values and all my Y values into my table, I can do what I did before and click on Stat Calc number 4. Stat Calc number 4. You go all the way down to calculate, and you get your A and your B. Again, your A is going to be in the decimal, so you just got to turn it into a fraction. And in this case, it will be y is equal to negative 3 over 4 x minus 5. The A is the slope, and the B is the y-intercept. So with this information, I can already tell what the right answer is, but for the sake of practice, I'm going to do the graph as well. Now with the graph, there's no points to plug in. You're going to have to find the points that you're going to have to plug in. Similar to question number 1, where they gave us the points. Here, we're going to have to get our own points. So for the first point, we're going to have negative 4 and 6. In the second point, we're going to have 4 and negative 4. You plug this into your stat edit. And then you go back to calc number 4, enter, and you get your slope and your y-intercept. Alright, so now it's just a matter of seeing which answers I can eliminate. Since both of my slopes are negative, I can immediately eliminate F, G, and I'm just left with H and J. I'm going to let you look at H and J for a little bit and see if you can figure out the right answer.
J.
J.
As you can see, my students here have figured out J, so we're going to go with J. Now, so far, we've only done linear functions. All my problems have said linear. But in the STAR test, you're not going to always have linear functions. Sometimes you're going to have quadratic and exponential. The only difference here is when you go to stat and calc, you're not just going to use the number 4 option. If you're looking for a quadratic, you're going to use the 5th option, so number 5. If you're looking for exponential, you're going to scroll even further down and use the exponential, which is 0. So now you get to do that on number 44.